What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 209 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, we've got an episode for every single kilo that the Indonesian weightlifter Abdullah Ramat Erwin lifted back in 2023.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, you've been doing some pretty cool factoids with numbers recently.
I've had to try a lot harder because Wikipedia's not helping me because it's all like math facts or this is the natural number preceding X and after Y, and I'm like, cool, very cool. Let's look up some records. This is actually from the International Weightlifting Federation, so it's a real record.
Yes, not a Guinness record.
Yeah, it's the record in the 81 kilo clean and jerk. Rick, why do they have weight categories in weightlifting?
So they can make it completely agnostic.
What?
They can make it completely agnostic of like gender and identity and all that.
Oh, I wasn't even meaning that. No, they're still gendered. No, they do it by weight because, hey, guess what? If it was just who could lift the biggest thing, it would only be big fuckers who could do weightlifting.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, if you're 8 for 100, then you got a bigger. You got. There physically is more muscle there.
Exactly.
So if you build it up, you're gonna be a gorilla compared to a capuchin.
Yeah. I mean, but saying that, like the clean and jerk by itself is a fucking. It looks like a miserable fucking lift. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I had to do one weight lift professionally, I would want to avoid the clean and jerk.
Yeah.
Is
that the one where you have to like flip your hands and get underneath it?
You effectively throw the weight. You don't throw the weight, but you do. Does that make sense? You got to use.
Yeah.
A bit of upward momentum. It's very... Every time I watch it, I like hold my breath because I'm like, oh, this looks super dangerous, and boy, is that super heavy.
Yeah, you like let go with it with both your hands and like re-grasp it before you can push it up to its full height.
That would be the jerk part of the clean and jerk.
Yes.
But yes, I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
We're doing something fun today. We're doing Pretty Please, I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl Pilot Animatic, which Rick pointed out literally 2 seconds before we recorded is an animatic and not an animation. But we went, fuck it, we ball.
Yeah. It's a very, very upscaled and upmarket version of a storyboard.
Yeah. I mean, we don't mind watching stuff like this, especially when it's proof of concept.
Yeah. Mousing over the most replayed bit is the colour bit.
But yes, I don't have much background information today. This is something that, it got uploaded 12 days ago as of recording. It will be up over 2 weeks by the time we actually post this because, funny enough, Rick's been away.
I have.
So we couldn't just pivot into this when it got uploaded. The reason why it came on my radar and why I suggested it is because it's done by Kiana Carnsmith, someone we followed on Twitter and now follow on Blue Sky instead, Rick didn't know this. I constantly sent Rick art by this artist, which is basically an alternative universe where Jessie from Team Rocket is going out dating, I want to say her name is Delia Ketchum.
Yeah, I think Delia's about right, yeah.
Yeah, because the H is in a weird place.
Yeah.
Which is Ash's mum, and they're very charming, and that's basically what got me hooked on their work in the first place. And the fact that they're trying to get an animation out, I want to support that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So if you've already watched this animatic, watch it again with our commentary and add to the view count, which definitely helps. Speaking of view count, I was kind of blown away to find out that this has got over damn near 3 million views.
Well, yes, 2.7 at time of reviewing.
Yeah, in 12 days, that's pretty impressive.
It is.
At least by my very limited understanding of viewing metrics.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like the other ones that we've been looking at have been like 30 million for one and like 2 million for the other.
I mean, let's take the Earth guy. They've got like 20k views on an episode.
Yeah, it's rather disappointing for something that we love.
I mean, I've been enjoying it, and that's out there. That's something you can watch. It's complete episodes. It's not proof of concept anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to take this one plug into a different plug, but we went there. Fuck it. But yes, as I alluded to, Rick's been away for a week. Last week we did something in hand, which means we've got 2 weeks of news to catch up on. Sorry, if you're new here, I should probably preface this by saying what we do before we actually get to the review itself is we talk about our weeks and the goings on in the wide universe. This time, we've got 2 weeks of shit to cover. Rick, how have your weeks been, buddy?
Well, most of what happened was just taken up by me going to Toulouse. It's a beautiful city. It reminds me, like, in a weird way, it reminds me a little bit of Sydney. And it's where Airbus HQ is, and 25% of the place is student. But the two things that happened, number one, I joked about it before we went. We went to Toulouse, and we did indeed lose. We didn't get nilled. That's the only positive part of the...
Do you want to explain to the audience what you actually went to do? Because while I know who you were watching and what, you haven't actually said that.
Yeah, we went to Stade Toulousain to watch the Bradford Bulls fight Toulouse Athletic in rugby league.
And was this was this a friendly game or was this for a contest?
This was part of the standard season.
I didn't realise that Bradford Bulls competed. I didn't realise there was an international season. Do you know what I mean?
They're so as a way to spice up the league, not the top league, but the one below the top league. They invite people from around the world now and again. So Toulouse Athletic is the current one that's in. The other one that has been in recently but has gone under is what do you call it? Toronto Storm, I believe it was called.
Dude, I can't help you here. I know fuck all about rugby.
Well, the team doesn't exist anymore anyway. But the Toronto out in Canada. So yeah, that was basically let's find a way for all the richest fans to go and waste a bunch of money and go out have a nice weekend.
Okay, but it's very interesting because like Toulouse makes sense. It's in France. It's European. Yep. It's a relatively short distance away. Canada, you got to go across an ocean.
Yeah. The other thing though is that outside of those two teams, the only other two teams that I can think of that are not just in Yorkshire and Yorkshire and Lancashire are Celtic Crusaders, which is just the Wales team, and the London Broncos, which is the London team. All the rest of them are just Yorkshire and Lancashire, pretty much.
I mean, the only rugby team I'm familiar with is the Harlequins, but I don't know if they're league or union.
Yeah, pretty sure that's union, but I could be wrong.
The fact that you didn't mention them leads me to lean towards them being part of the different version of the game.
Yeah. The different and more popular version of the game, which, on the same day as the match, France was actually just straight up playing against Ireland, and everyone just assumed that if you were talking about rugby, that's what you were going to want to watch.
I mean, to be fair...
was taking place in Ireland.
Wasn't that the World Cup as well, or is it Six Nations?
Yeah, well, one or the other.
Like, just a qualification... it was a qualification game, so it must have been World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to rugby, World Cup and Six Nations might as well be the same thing, because there's not many more than what takes place in the Six Nations that want to join the World Cup.
Well, you're telling a lie, aren't you? Because New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, these are not part of the Six Nations, and they're big fucking teams.
Enough. Yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the other thing outside of Yorkshire that does play rugby league are it's the dominant form of rugby in Australia and New Zealand, and they have a much more high-powered league down there than we do up here.
And I don't think they've got their own domestic league, or if they do, it's not a popular televised affair. But like the Pacific Islanders, they've got a lot of fucking strong rugby teams.
Yeah,
like Tonga,
they quite often
get
very quickly snapped up into the bigger domestic teams, mostly in Australia and New Zealand. Quite often we get them as well as one of our maximum number of, I think it's 5 internationals you can have on a team.
Fair enough.
Like a cap on internationals and a salary cap are the two things that rugby league do that I think every sport should kind of do.
I think salary cap is definitely a fair thing because like no one needs to be being paid fucking 30 million a game.
Yeah, the salary cap is there's like a number. It's like 5 million or 50% of what your club takes, whichever is lower.
Yeah, like I think 5 million for playing a fucking sport ball is.
It's for the whole team.
For the whole team. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's incredibly tight then.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You can still get a very good living wage out of it. Like the standard team is 13, and obviously you got your substitutes. The people who are essentially bench warmers who will pretty much never get a game are still going to be fully paid because they're still going to be doing all of the training. And the guy that we sponsored a few years ago, Johnny Wallace, he was going to be like a full season season-long bench warmer, except in the very first game that he was on the bench, it was because someone else was injured, so the person on the bench got moved up to the full team, so he got moved from reserves onto the bench, and then the person got injured as well, so he got a game, and he was fantastic. So from then they realized that, oh yeah, this guy's a bit special. So yeah, we got a good one.
Yeah. Nothing like betting on human cattle.
Yeah. No, we just sponsored him. We paid some money to the club, get our names read out every time he scores, and he did score now and again.
Yeah, cool. Purchasing a human.
Yes. We also met his mum. She was lovely. But yes, other things that happened out in Toulouse. The other thing that happened, I got canvassed by a cool old lady for the French Communist Party.
Canvassed?
Yeah, so she tried to recruit me for the French Communist Party. I was just stood outside the main palace of the Occitan region and playing Pokemon Go. And this really cool old lady with a communist flag sticking out of her back was coming around handing out pamphlets, and I pigeon Frenched a couple of things together. And as soon as I laid eyes on the pamphlet that she gave me, I scanned over it, and a couple of things that I read just immediately resonated, because it was basically just a manifesto of women around the world are getting fucked. We don't agree with that. So yeah, apparently I'm a communist now.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works at all, but go on.
Yeah. So I did a little bit more research, and yeah, they're pretty much the only left-leaning Eurosceptic party who also is pro-nuclear energy.
Yeah, but it also means fuck all to you, because you don't live there.
Yeah, I know, right? And we're not part of the EU anymore, so it's not like they're going to be part of like the European Parliament anytime soon either. Yeah, other things I did. I downloaded a couple of anime, old and new, for watching while I was in my blackout times. Of the new ones, it's Isekai Red, which is very fun and very funny. It's a Red Ranger gets isekai'd, and he keeps his Red Ranger powers, and people just are mind broken as to how stupid Sentai powers are even in an isekai world.
So a Red Power Ranger in a medieval setting?
Yes.
Okay. How many episodes until it devolves into him getting a harem?
Well, episode 1, he makes the girl that recruits him into her party fall in love with him.
Yep, okay, so not even an episode. Got it.
Yep.
Fucking hate Isekai, Rick.
Yeah. I do know that eventually she gets her own Sentai suit because of how much she loves him back. And yeah, they're the Kizuna Rangers, which is like the Bond Rangers, and it's all about their unbreakable bond. But for some reason, he can also summon his entire fucking Megazord.
Well, he'd be pretty fucking weak if he couldn't do that.
Yeah. There's also another person in the universe who is like the 7th generation descendant of a previous isekai person who was a Kamen Rider.
I mean, Kamen Rider is just fucking... it's just Sentai anyway.
It's just solo Sentai. Yeah, it's Sentai when you're essentially either a soloist or like there's like at most like 3 of them at once, but like it focuses on single fights usually.
Well, again, Kamen Rider is a Sentai show.
Yes. Oh, yes. And I re-downloaded an old show, Recreators, which the last time I downloaded this show, I got my phone nicked.
Did history repeat itself?
No, although my phone no longer fully opens completely flat, so I'm bothered about that.
Right, so the show's
something
cursed.
went wrong with my phone. The show is cursed. And that's part of the show, actually, that one of the characters who comes to life in the real world is unbeatable because their creator is dead and therefore cannot set a limit on how powerful this character is meant to be. So that's fun. And the last one I watched was the Overlord Holy Kingdom movie. And rather than doing a whole season on this, they just condensed the arc into a movie. And this time I watched the dub instead of the sub. And Ainz Ulgon is voiced by the same guy who does Dr. Gero in Dragon Ball Abridged.
That's weird.
Yeah, it turns out this guy has done a fucking lot of things. But yeah, that's the one that I definitely have seen is Dragon Ball Abridged.
Well, like it's the thing I like about the classic Berserk anime adaptation in that the voice actors aren't voice actors, but they all do a really relatively good job. And the reason why I say that is because the guy who voices Griffith, the evil fuck you bastard of all time, is a stage singer. So
right,
the best thing about the DVD collection is they've got the outtakes from the voice actors.
Oh, does he start when he flubs his line? Does he start singing?
Every time he fucks up, he just starts singing a song. Every time. And sometimes he'll he'll do his voice lines where clearly Casca or Guts their parts have already been recorded, so clearly he's having the audio played at the same time, so he can get the timing right for his lines. And he'll take too long to say his shit, so as he's saying something, Guts will start talking, and then he just turns into a real catty bitch and goes, shut up, I'm talking. Which is something Griffith would totally do. True.
But yes, other than that, out in the wide world, last night I got a message that Pokemon Go has been bought by the Saudis.
Cool, so now you can no longer play this game.
Yeah. I already didn't spend any money on it. I'm definitely not going to spend any money on it now. The company that is going to be, has offered a massive amount of money, and it's probably going to be accepted. I think it's been accepted by Niantic, but it needs to be cleared by the an ombudsman to make sure that it goes through. They already are a non-zero shareholder in Nintendo already. So I get the feeling that Nintendo could block it if they wanted to, but
But why would they do that? Nintendo likes money.
Yeah, they do like money, and it prints money. Yeah, and other thing is get prepared for Discord to get a lot shittier, because they're also floating Discord to I believe they call it an IPO on Wall Street, and that's going to mean mandated enshittification of Discord.
Like, they didn't learn anything from Skype, did they?
No, which also is dying right now.
Well, it's not dying, it's dead. Like, they've said Skype is going away, join Team Talks.
Yeah. That's another thing I did. I went on Skype and was like, oh man, memories, and apparently the last thing I did on there was in 2018. Oh no, it wasn't. It was with you.
I was going to say that
when we
used it at least once to record an episode because Discord was shit in the bed.
Yeah, there's a couple of unrecoverable WAVs that I've tried to send through Skype to you before we started using Google Drive.
Yeah, that really did. That really saved a lot of fucking hassle, didn't it?
Yeah, having a Google Drive that we can both log into rather than having to, send a link.
And also the amount of times you would regularly fall asleep before sending me a link, and then I'd be like, dude, I need to fucking edit this. Send me your shit.
Yeah. But yes, I think that's about it for things that I've seen in the world. Oh no, the one last thing was the Lilo and Stitch trailer came out, and it doesn't look awful.
This is the live action thing they're trying to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't look awful because the CGI aliens are pretty much like for like recreations of how it was in the cartoon.
Why would it be other?
Because Disney likes to save money, and if they can make something look bad, then quite often they do.
I don't think that's even true. Like, I know people like to shit on a lot of their... I mean, don't get me wrong, the Snow White shit with the dwarfs look awful. But the thing with, The Lion King, I know it gets shit on, but it doesn't look as good as the cartoon because the cartoon has got a very distinct style and is rather charming, whereas they're trying to do live action... I say live action. They're trying to make the animals look real in the quote-unquote live-action Lion King. And the animals do look real, it just looks shit because that's not what makes the movie good.
Yeah, they make CGI real, quote-unquote real animals, and it's just nowhere near as charming. And also, even when it's the same voice actor, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, but that's because James Earl Jones was quite clearly couldn't give a fuck when doing his lines again.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I was playing the original lines in my head over the top of what was being, shown, and the original one sounded so much more, impassioned.
Well, James Earl Jones didn't have to give a fuck because, again, James Earl Jones was, 1, well established, and 2, I got my money, I don't care.
Yeah, totally.
And I don't care that he was like that. He more than earned that right. I just don't see why they didn't recast the voice.
Yeah, they recast literally everything else, pretty much.
It's just if the actor doesn't give a fuck and you can't motivate them as a director, fucking get rid of them and save yourself some change.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to get Jeremy Irons to be Scar, then you might as well recast everybody.
Jeremy Irons, goddamn.
Yeah. But yes, that's about it from me, until I remember something else and interrupt you, but I'm going to try not to do that.
No, Rick, let's save a bit of trouble, Rick. Do you want to talk about Monster Hunter?
I have been having trouble with Monster Hunter. I have rolled credits using my laptop, and since I got home this week, I have also been having troubles on the laptop as well. So I have enjoyed the game. The game is good. Good luck running it if you're on PC. AC. Like, actually good luck. It's not. This isn't facetious. You need to win the hardware lottery, even with things that are well beyond the minimum spec.
Yeah, so I remember looking at the reviews for Monster Hunter, and it was very much mixed reviews, which blows my mind that it wasn't overwhelmingly negative. And oh wait, no, it doesn't, because people are selfish. A lot of people are like, this is a good game, and you quite correctly pointed out the other day in a group chat that we had, saying, oh, you got all these reviews saying, oh yeah, the game's poorly optimized and a bunch of people can't play it, but I got mine, so fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, mine works. Thumbs up. And yeah, Capcom need to be held accountable for this, because not only that, but they've also got they've got 2 layers of de novo and their own layer of anti-cheat, all of which make the game worse.
You can blame the Capcom dinosaurs again.
Yeah, none of which actually. Okay, one of their own personal one might be present on the console versions, but yeah, de novo doesn't have to be.
It's a really interesting one as well, because it doesn't actually stop quote unquote cheating. Because a streamer I sort of follow, Angriest Pat, in case you're wondering, recently caused a bit of a hubbub in his I say his subreddit, in the Super Best Friends subreddit, because he did a weird thing where he didn't hack the game, but he used a few tricks to basically skip low rank and give himself 999 of all the basic equipment, tranquilizers, electric shock traps, potions, so he didn't have to fuck around grinding for stupid shit that you shouldn't have to grind for. And then a bunch of people fucking shat on him for doing this, so he then deleted that save file and started again from low rank. But it's like, if you've played Monster Hunter, there should be an option at the beginning of the game saying, do you want to jump straight into high rank? And it should be like, yes please.
Yeah. I don't mind there being story that you can just pause from your daily routine to just go back and do the story, but being able to skip straight into high rank and then just be level synced down to whatever the monster is, that should be fine too,
I don't know, I just because low rank is far. Okay, I've played a Monster. This isn't my first Monster Hunter this time, which means every single enemy is piss easy on low rank.
Yeah. You get between their testicles, because their head is normally the most dangerous part.
Well, bear in mind, I still use a fucking hammer.
Yeah, you're a hammer, so you can neutralize the head by bonking with the head.
Well, I can't neutralize the head, but if I'm not hitting the head, I'm doing my job wrong.
Yeah. With my slashy stuff, you get underneath the testicles. If you can get the tail, cool. If not, then getting under the nadgers and being able to hit with every single little flailing stroke that you do is pretty good.
I think if you have a severing weapon, your job is implicitly to get rid of the tail so you can neutralize attacks.
Yeah. I'm also really liking the wounds, in that they're a nice middle ground between the clutch claw from the DLC of Worlds and the wire bugs in Rise. You just do enough damage to a certain part, and then when you hold L1, that bit's glowy. So you hold L2 and that bit's glowy, so you go and do L2 and R1 and you break it.
Well, I had to explain to a mutual friend of ours not too long ago, where I was like, one, I like the wound system because wounds will just appear on the front legs of most creatures because it's collateral damage from my hammer swings.
Yes.
But the other thing is the focus thing that lets you focus in and aim your attacks. I explained to the friend, I don't actually use that as a hammer. And he's like, what, not even to correct the aim of your hammer? And I went, it's a fucking hammer. It's very easy to aim without precise aiming.
Yeah, the hammer is going in this 180-degree arc. If your dude is in that 180-degree arc, it's gonna get hammered.
Yeah, and the only reason why this was a topic of discussion is because they recently picked up hammer as their secondary weapon. By the way, you can have 2 weapons at a time now on the go. Both of my weapons are hammers. One is my hammer that does damage, and my other is the hammer that has the paralysis effect, just in case people want me to use that.
Numbers hammer and stat hammer.
I don't like using the paralysis status effect as a hammer unless I'm playing with other people, because I find that a lot of times when I knock a monster on the ass, after 2 more swings, it then goes into paralysis, and I'm like, fuck!
Yeah. It's one of those, like, their build-up bar for getting stunned by damage and getting stunned by status effects are usually pretty similar, so yeah, that always seems to happen.
And when they're paralyzed, it forces them to stand back up, which means if I'm in the middle of my Big Bang fucking combo, all of a sudden my Big Bang combo stops.
Yep. Meanwhile, my two weapons are the dual blades and the glaive, and I've been actually trying to alternate between them a lot more reliably. I did the actual boss, not the final boss, with the glaive, and then the final boss I did with the dual blades.
Yeah, I don't like the final boss. Even on low rank, it was just like, oh, it's just a big thing again.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I've been here for 30 minutes, and it finally said, okay, you're nearly there now. I'm like, finally, Jesus.
Well, it took me 15 minutes, but I also fired off an SOS flare, and oh yeah, I told you this the other day. If you fire off an SOS flare and no human players come to help you, you just get NPCs.
Yeah, and all of the NPCs are very bangable. Pretty much.
I mean, Olivia's the only one that helps you that has an actual model that I care about. The others don't seem to be actual characters.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah. But yeah, Olivia is top, Gemma is top, Alma is top, and Ida, who I keep bringing up, she's also top, but you had to look her up because she only shows up in like one cutscene.
She shows up once and she's nothing, just like all of the characters in all of the villages.
Yeah.
Like, Olivia matters because she actually helps you during a couple of quests. Gemma matters because you're always talking to her. She's your blacksmith. Alma, is that her name?
Yeah. Alma is your guild mom. Ida is the one from Oil Village.
Yeah, but I didn't even bring up Ida. I knew who Ida was. Alma is just a name. I wasn't sure if that was her name or not. It's your quest giver, which means you talk to her pretty frequently. Also, she is is she Asian or Latina?
Yes.
Okay. She's one of them. She's one of those two. Goddess.
Yes. She reminds me quite a lot of Kason, mostly because she's got a cute face and wears glasses.
Yeah, that's all it takes for you, isn't it?
But yeah, I'm still on Team Gemma because I'm all about that unkempt hair.
I'm on Team Olivia, easy.
Yeah.
Also, she wields a hammer, which means every time we were fighting, we were just hitting the same spot again and again.
Yeah, you just hammer bros, and yeah, that one time when she takes her armor off and has a dinner with you, and you get to see her arms, it's great.
I don't think I've gotten. Oh well, okay, yeah. It's not a dinner with you; it's a dinner with you and everyone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, Monster Hunter game good. Good luck running it. So yeah, that's about it for me. How have you been? What have you seen?
Well, it should come as no surprise to you, Rick, that I have completed Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yeah!
Yeah, I've 100% completed that game as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, I haven't 100% completed everything in game because that's for crazy people.
Yeah, like there's going to be like a million side quests that are like games in and of themselves.
Yes.
Of going down like mini games and all that.
Like Mahjong can fuck off. I've never played it. I'm not going to start. There's a bunch of vocational tests that I've just not done. I did the 10 I needed to recruit a pirate crew member, and then I went, fuck the rest of this shit. There's what else is there that I skipped? There's bounties. You can claim bounties on individual people in fights, where I cleared the entire map of bounties, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't need to do this. I just did it because it gave me money, and I was just pissing around time. I then got a text message saying, oh wow, you cleared a lot of bounties. Here's more. And I'm like, okay, fuck this.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to a certain point, I'm like, yeah, draw a line under this shit.
Yeah. I did all the side stories. The Minato girl side quest ended up being really funny. Once you recruited all 5 girls, you had to throw a party for your crew member Masaru, and it changed into a live action shot, and I was so not expecting it. Majima doesn't appear in these live action shots because Majima's voice actor does not look anything like Majima.
Sweet.
But Masaru and all of the Minato girls are all played by real people that they've literally just taken their appearance in real life and put it in the game. So, 1-to-1 translation. And it's just a series of cutscenes that lasts pretty much an hour of basically like, here's this comic buffoon Masaru failing to score with all these hot, beautiful girls. Like, there's one where he was with one girl who was clearly up for it, and he was like, I'm going to go take a quick shower, and then that shower took 2 hours.
Oh Oh, Jesus.
But when he came out, she fucked off, and he's like, oh, I wonder where she went. And it's like, dude, you had this one in the bag, and you fucked it.
Jesus. Yeah. I think we all know someone like that.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly fucking stellar in these scenarios, but I think I'd be able to take the hint in that fucking one. Just
Yep.
like, anyway, whatever. But yeah, he fails in a bunch of comical ways, and when it ends, all 5 girls in-game are like, yeah, we want to hold our hearts for someone who deserves it. And then Marja was like, good for you girls, why are you all looking at me like that? And and then they get recruited into your pirate crew, and they're all gold pirate members. They're all very good people to have in your crew.
Yeah, good shit. Fantastic.
So yeah, much needed boost as well, because I was like, fuck, my crew is a bit on the weak side. There's a moment, okay, I'm gonna now spoil slight story stuff, so I apologize for people listening.
Okay.
First and foremost, I did the Amon Pirates, which is a side quest. You have to do all of the Pirate Coliseum stuff just to unlock them, and boy was that fight hard and annoying, as it should be.
Yeah, so I don't know anything about this, so
in
go ahead.
every single Yakuza game ever, there's a dude with his clan, he's called Amon, and he's a super optional, super secret boss fight in almost every single game, and he's always really fuck you hard, and this time was no different. His pirate ship had like 10,000 HP, which is the biggest HP of any ship, and by the way, it could fire rockets that are incredibly difficult to dodge in your boat.
Yep, fair enough. So yeah, he's the Sephiroth of pirates, but also of all Yakuza things, I assume.
Pretty much, yeah. It's very funny because in this game, once you beat the Pirate Coliseum duel, he just meets you and just goes, yeah, so this pirate thing was just a bit of a joke. I want to now fight you one-on-one because I'm the king of assassins and I need to prove I'm the toughest. And Marshall was like, ha 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 ha, I'm gonna kick your ass. So you have a one-on-one fight with him. Thank fuck they let you heal during the fight, because usually they don't. Like, the guy summoned, like, sword tornadoes.
Yeah.
Impossible to fucking dodge, so I just blocked. Just to give you a bit of context as to how bullshit and funny this guy can be, Amon that is. In the side game, he when you fight him, he steals your phone before you fight him.
Okay, so that's why you can't summon the others, your allies and all that.
Not even that. This is in a game which is the old punchy kick game. But in that game, you would bring up your phone to heal yourself using items.
Right. Okay.
But he took your phone off you in the cutscene, and that's why you can't heal during the fight.
Okay, I get you.
So, some dumb shit. But yeah, plot stuff. We find the secret treasure. It's great. It's awesome. Fantastic. One of your crewmates gets not fatally stabbed, because no one dies in Yakuza ever. Even when they do die, they come back. While you're doing a very high stakes ordering people about, Majima calls Saejima his brother, and it's not subtle in any way, but you're like, okay, Majima now has his memories back, because he's been telling Saejima off for calling him that since the two met again. So
yes.
Yeah, that was cool. The rest of the game is bullshit, to be honest. It always is. Oh, by the way, when you beat the Amon Pirates, he gives you a piece of equipment. That means your heat gauge is basically permanently charged. In case you don't know what the heat gauge is, it's basically what lets you do those really sick finishing moves.
Yeah, it's your limit break gear gauge, yeah.
Yeah. You've pretty much only got that for the final string of fights.
Sure, okay.
But yeah, it made a lot of this late game stuff trivial.
Yeah, because you can just like unleash holy hell.
Well, I've got there's two heat gauge actions that I just abused during basically the last half of the game, which was, one was a pistol attack, which would take out 6 enemies, no questions asked, as long as they were mooks. And the other one was just, it would do like 2 health bars worth of damage on one person.
Sure, okay.
So, again, trivialized shit. We fought a giant squid, because of course we did. And then we get to the end of the game, and it turns out the entire time Majima's been talking in the present, he's been talking to Ichiban, who's the new protagonist for the games.
Yeah.
And Ichiban is just like, I don't know, this seems kind of far-fetched. And it's like, dude, you can't call anything far-fetched. You fought a shark.
Yeah. Like, he's got some... He's so toony, he created the RPG interface around him, and he can, like, transmit it to other party members.
It's so fucking silly. Anyway, the final cutscene is quite serious. You've got Majima and Saejima in their black suits, looking all dressed up. They're about to visit Kazuya, and what we find out is the whole reason why Majima, before he got his temporary amnesia, the whole reason he went there in the first place in a boat is he was hunting the same treasure still, because there was a rumor that there was an elixir of life there, and the implication being that he really wants to help Kiryu.
Aw,
yeah,
cute.
It is. Unfortunately, the elixir of life might exist, but now lives at the bottom of the ocean, because we saw the one character who knows what the elixir of life is just throw them all into the sea.
Okay.
Yeah, but none of the characters saw that. That's just a cutscene we got as players.
Okay.
So yeah, the game was good. It was very fun. About 50 hours is what it took me.
Sweet. That's pretty good going. That's like way more than I spent on Monster Hunter. I think I rolled credits at about 20 hours playtime.
It would have been
11 hours on the save file.
Yeah, I was going to say about 10 hours for the story, easy.
Yeah.
Not much more than that.
And like I got it on as a code, so I can't refund it. But even without that, I was over the time before I managed to get into the game properly. Yeah.
Pirate Yakuza's fun. I highly recommend it. If Yakuza's not your thing, it's one of those where I think the game's fun, but if you don't care about Yakuza, I don't know how much enjoyment you'll get out of this.
Yeah, fair enough.
And if you didn't, go on.
So yeah, it's the kind of thing I probably would enjoy it, actually. Not least because I've now seen the Yakuza TV show, and I know a non-zero amount about the universe, even though it was a bit bastardized in that.
Oh, I don't think you know anywhere near enough to have this game make sense to you.
No, like the only thing that was like getting close to things was when Majima just sees Kiryu and just waves and goes, "Kiryu-chan!" and then he gets arrested.
Yeah, that sounds like a fucking thing that would happen with the Majima Anywhere system.
Yep.
But yeah, if you haven't played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, a lot of the stuff isn't going to make sense either. Almost all of the sub-stories are direct continuations from sub-stories from that game.
Sure.
It gives me the suspicious feeling that we're probably never visiting Hawaii again.
Okay, yeah, because isn't it like the third time we've done... Well, sorry, it's the second time in a row we've done Hawaii. It's just the third time we've had K.
Yes, because K wasn't a thing. K-Son was in a different game, but she wasn't K.
Okay, it was just K-Son and not K.
She played a character that was not K-Son or K.
Sure.
Unless her name was K. I don't remember, it's been a minute. It was a weird live action thing, so I don't count it.
Yeah, and because she was basically just a bit part that was less important, and now she's like a beloved bit character now.
Yeah, I guess she is.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like pocket money for life now, isn't it?
Pocket money for life?
Yeah, as long as they keep making Yakuzas, she can get money for old rope just by like showing up and being K for a little bit.
It wouldn't make sense for her to be anywhere other than Hawaii.
Unless she moves to Japan now.
But it wouldn't make sense. I'm telling you, it wouldn't make sense.
I'd need to know more than just you saying that, but yes.
I understand that, Rick, but we're in a podcast. It will take me tens of minutes.
Sure, okay.
80-hour RPG, Rick, of which we're talking about a bit character that ultimately doesn't matter. Apart from the fact that she's played by K-Son and you like K-Son.
Yeah, well, if she really doesn't matter, then she can move to Japan where she actually lives.
I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen, I'm just saying it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, I played another game during these 2 weeks. I played Dredge.
Okay.
It's a fishing game.
How's that going for you?
I mean, I've played Dredge. It's done. I've finished it. It took 10 hours.
Sure. And this is not the like the 2D, not 2D. This is not the pixel arty fishing game, is it?
I wouldn't call it pixel arty. No. It's got real artwork. That sounds bad. You know what I mean when I say that, right?
Yeah. It's so is it like watercolor kind of artwork or what?
I don't know how to describe it really. It feels like ink more than watercolor.
Let's just look it up. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. This looks really cute.
I want to point out the artwork for the characters looks completely different to the artwork of just actually controlling and playing the game.
Yeah. It looks like a kind of like a cel-shaded, upscaled version of something that's a combination of models that you can make out of shit in your house and like PS1 low poly stuff, but like really nicely upscaled with the just textures and stuff like that.
Okay, if you're looking at just the boat and just the islands, they don't quite do justice to the other things that you find find in the game. I'll put it that way. But yeah, the in-game assets completely different to the actual art style, which, you know, whatever, I can live with that. It's a great little game. I'm very tempted to get the DLCs, however, I'll probably wait until they're on sale.
Yeah, the Iron Rig, apparently.
Iron Rig and the Pale Reach or some bollocks.
Yeah.
One adds an ice
Iron Rig
island, one adds basically a town is what it says.
Yeah, the Iron Rig is currently 25% off.
Yeah, I need it to be lower based on the reviews.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's a fun game. The fishing minigame is quite easy. I'd say this is a spoiler, but it's not because it happens almost immediately. There's a Cthulhu-esque undertone to the game.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the trailer for the Iron Rig, and yeah, they drill too greedily and too deep.
Yeah. Like I said, I've rolled credits. I've seen an ending. I mean, there's the very first series of quests you get are for the fishmonger, and very quickly they're like, okay, you need to get an aberration of a fish, which is a fish that's been horribly mutated because the guy wants to eat it, and then he gets very, very sick. But it's also got a little a memento thing, and it starts the entire actual main quest of the game.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I've just seen a human in the dredge style, and it looks individual shots of him look like papercraft.
Yeah, I kind of get I get what you're saying.
Like the papercraft animation style, but yeah, published by Team 17.
Does that name mean anything to you?
Yeah, they made Worms.
Oh, did that? Fair enough. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've done a lot since then. Like I think they're more of a publisher now than a developer. But yeah, they've made a lot of things.
Yeah, this game's good. I highly recommend it. I don't want to spoil the ending, but one of the fishing at night is terrifying in this game.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yes.
Yeah, I don't like it. I had this really awful moment where I had it in my head that if I'm in the middle of fishing or dredging something up, nothing bad can happen to me. And then I got attacked, and I frightened the fuck out of me, Rick.
Oh boy.
There's a time where I swear I saw a giant stingray chasing me during the day, and I was like, this isn't supposed to happen during the day. What, is that a stingray, or am I imagining things? And then I quickly did a little, I was quite happy with myself. I did some zigzagging and I got rid of it, but I was like, fucking, how much danger am I in?
Yeah, the thing like that is now like showing up during the daytime to fuck you up.
There's an option in the option menu where you can play on peaceful mode.
Yes.
And it tells you that it gets rid of all scary events.
In as many words.
Like, for real. And I was like, However, the game would no longer be a challenge without those scary events, so I shall leave them on, despite the fact they've successfully terrified me no less than 3 times.
Yup. Yeah, absolutely. Like it's not even just not a challenge. It's like there is like, what even is the game without the without adversity?
Collecting all the fish.
Oh, okay. It's just a fish collector if you don't have adversity to fight against. Okay.
I've got to assume that's what it is, because you've got an entire encyclopedia that you can fill up with every single fish and all of their aberrations. So each fish appears to have 2 aberrations, and there's only a certain percentage chance that you'll get one of those. So
sure, okay.
I assume that's what it's for, maybe? If you do want it to just be a fishing game, then I guess you could do that. I don't know. I've not played with that option. I'm with you. I don't see it doesn't feel like it would be very much fun without that option turned, without turning off the scary shit. It becomes a lot less of a game.
Yeah. It's like playing Minecraft on creative mode. Like, yes, you can make things, but it feels way less impactful and way less of an achievement when you do something when you can just choose to win.
Well, creative mode on Minecraft I think is a bad example, because you can do a lot on creative mode that you would never be able to do on adventure mode. Like, I used to make portraits, and I wouldn't be able to do that if I had to gather all the materials and make sure mobs and shit don't interrupt me while building.
Yeah. Like map art as well, which is just portrait but on the ground, and you make a map of that zone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you get posters in Minecraft. You do a floor portrait somewhere in the world and make a map of it, and then you can just like put that up in frames.
Fair dude.
It's rather ingenious, but actually really cute, you know?
That sounds like it'll take forever as well.
Yes, especially on survival mode.
No, it's impossible on survival mode. I refuse to believe anyone could be asked to do it.
Oh, I don't know. There are a lot of people on the spectrum.
Yeah, I understand that, Rick. I'm just saying it would be difficult because your work would constantly be getting altered.
Sure.
Anyway, Dredge is good. I suggest you buy it. The the game's not particularly expensive anyway, but I did get it while it was half off, so...
Cool beans.
The last thing I'm going to talk about on the personal front is I went bowling on Monday.
Ah, yes. How did that go?
Oh, fuck the bowling, who cares? They recently renovated the bowling alley so that it's got an honest-to-God arcade now.
Yeah.
They've got these little cards that you can get, which you fill up with money, and you use that to pay for shit. More importantly, they had a game installed that spoke to me and me alone. Godzilla Kaiju Wars VR.
Oh, sweet.
This game costs £3 to go.
Oh, no.
That cost is well worth it.
Ah, yeah, fair enough.
So you sit down on this thing. You've all seen the Jurassic Park machines where you basically sit in a booth and you got a mounted gun and you shoot with the gun, yeah?
Yeah, but so I guess it's that, but with a VR headset on.
So yes, you've got that. You've got a VR headset, and the booth you're on moves.
Yeah.
So it already is pretty trippy in VR because you look down, you're like, oh my god, that's fucking too far down. But the thing moves is lifted in such a way that you feel the gravity working on you.
Yeah.
You get fucking fans blowing at you while you're rushing in certain directions. It's incredibly immersive, and yeah, my friend wasn't too keen on having a go because he thought it was a bit silly. But then he had one go and was like, we should do all of it.
Sweet.
It was a very fun game. I enjoyed shooting kaiju. They're non-important kaiju that you're fighting, but Godzilla's also there and you fight him at the same time. It's very fun. I just thought I'd bring it up because it was a really cool experience, and if you ever see this machine in an arcade, I recommend giving it a go.
Yeah, sweet.
You ready for some news?
Let's go.
Rick, I'm going to start with the depressing news first, and then we'll move on to happier light. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah, let's go.
As of today, that is recording day, it's been 29 years since Dunblane.
Yeah, that's basically the galvanizing event that stopped us having like easily available guns in the UK, and good riddance.
We don't often use our podcast as a soapbox, but I think it's one of the few things like universally agreed from every Briton ever of just like, this was a good decision.
Yep. It's been 29 years since we got rid of guns, and the Britain is still glad to be rid of them.
16 people, or rather 16 children, and I believe 2 teachers.
Yeah, absolutely. Once was enough.
Yeah, America.
Or you could say once was too many.
Yeah, I mean Australia took an equally strong stance, and I couldn't tell you what their event was. No,
but yeah, they had like a big old amnesty of if you turn your guns in, we'll throw them in a furnace and give you some money for them.
Yeah, And by the way, for those of you who are perhaps from a country that doesn't want to ban guns, guns aren't banned here. You can still get them. You just need to go through the proper channels.
Yeah, you need to have a reason to have it, which is normally I am a farm owner and there are things that come from my chickens.
Yes, including beloved family pets. Keep your dogs on a lead when walking near farms.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it really. I mean, you can also get a pistol over here as long as you're into sport shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you have to do is submit a license saying, I want a pistol for this. And most of the time, if you haven't got any criminal record or history of mental illness, they'll be like, yeah, cool, sure. And even if you do, you can still go to a gun range and borrow a gun to shoot at a range if that's what you want to do.
And yeah, you've got to have your ammo kept in a separate locked container to where your guns are kept in a locked container.
Yeah, because if you're using it for sport, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It means that you are going on a specified day to go down the range, and you can have both of these go into your car in different bags. That's fine, and they only meet when you're about to shoot something down the range.
Yeah. Okay, so enough with our soapbox. Do you want some actual news?
Yeah, let's go.
Rick, Shrek 5 got announced.
Oh?
Did you not see this? Have you been living under a rock?
Yes, I've been... Shrek 5. I thought you said Strip 5.
No, what would Strip 5 be, Rick?
I don't know. I had to process things in my head brain. Yes, Shrek. So the animation style is a lot less charming than the old Shrek. I think it looks kind of okay. Apparently Shrek's young daughter is now Zendaya, maybe.
Okay, so here's the 2 takeaways I've got. One, they revealed the look of Shrek, and it's very weird because on the one hand, yeah, that's Shrek, but on the other hand, something is slightly different, and I don't know what it is.
His eyes are bigger.
Is it? I thought
his
his like head was a bit smoother.
Both. Like, he looks more Homer Simpson-y.
Maybe that's it.
He looks more like Homer Simpson than Wayne Rooney, and that detracts from recognizing him as the Shrek that we know and love, especially now that he's meant to be older, so he's got like a couple of wrinkles in him. So does Fiona, by the way, and good continuity for that. And Donkey is also going even grayer.
But Shrek doesn't have any wrinkles, and I think that's part of the problem. He looks very smooth.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just saying, he looks weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
I'm still going to watch it.
I'm probably not going to watch it, because I thought the last Shrek film was awful. Wait, no.
Oh, yes.
No.
Okay, the last Shrek film was not the worst Shrek film that they've done.
No, 3 was.
Yes.
I think.
So,
is 3 the one where they had King Arthur?
Yeah, 3 was the very low bar that anything could clear. 4 was kind of okay, and I don't begrudge the time that I spent watching it. I will watch Shrek 5, especially since Puss in Boots 2 was legitimately good.
Yeah, I'm aware that was... Again, I've not seen it, but I've seen the important bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. I don't know if I'll see it. I'll have to wait for a trailer. The other thing is, yes, Zendaya is going to be playing Shrek's daughter? It would have to be daughter, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And
so the two sons seem to have been Thanos snapped into the universe.
Well, we don't know that, do we?
No, just from the trailer. Yeah, because he had triplets, 2 boys, 1 girl. The girl was apparently called Felicia, so we'll see if she's still called Felicia or not.
Dude, I couldn't fucking tell you what their names were. I just know they were Shrek's kids, and he hated them in Shrek 4.
Yeah, Fergus, Farkle, and Felicia. Yeah, he wanted rid of them until he realised, no, I don't want rid of them. I want a day without them.
But yeah, Zendaya being cast is... Oh, boy, the internet has been polarised on this. And here's the thing, I want to point out, I don't really care about Zendaya one way or the other. If they're in something, great. If they're not, also don't care. They're just an actor to me.
Yeah.
But very polarising in the Shrek community, because half the people are like, man, Zendaya's in fucking everything, which, no, she's not. She might be in a lot of things you watch, but diversify what you watch.
Yeah, watch more things.
and the other half of people are just like, oh man, I want Zendaya to be in everything, which they're also wrong, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about... I mean, the only thing I've seen that Zendaya's in is Spider-Man, and that was fucking years ago now.
Yeah, the most recent one she's been in, Spider-Man 3. Yeah, it seems like that version of MJ is basically done for that story now.
It's fine by me. They need Gwen Stacy now, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like an inverse Spider-Man for Gwen, bringing in Gwen Stacy, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't even tell you anything. The 2 things Zendaya's been in recently, she's in the Dune trilogy, isn't she?
Oh yeah, she is. Yeah.
And she was in that film about the 2 tennis players, and I only know that because it was it was always the trailer they showed before every fucking movie for a while, and I was like, cool, this looks shit.
Yeah, don't you just love that though, when you get you go to 3 movies in 2 months and they all have the same trailer.
Yeah.
For something you don't want to see.
Can't even remember what that film was called. I just know it involves a tennis player and some kind of love triangle scenario where 2 dudes both wanted to fuck Zendaya. Which, fine, Zendaya's very fuckable. I get it.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to watch a film about it.
Yeah, just ask Tom Holland.
I'm good. I don't think Tom Holland wants to be asked questions like that. Don't pester him on Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever platform he's on.
No, okay, yeah. As much as I have literally just said it, do not pester Tom Holland about Zendaya.
Oh, Jesus. And don't pester Zendaya either. Leave her alone.
Yeah, don't pester Zendaya about Zendaya unless you're an agent and wanting to hire her for something.
Or she's at a Comic-Con and is taking questions, in which case feel free to ask her a question, but not about her poontang.
Yeah, don't make it weird.
Alrighty, okay, moving on before we make this even weirder. Rick, I'm getting really sick of these fuckers with their public domain bullshit.
Oh yeah, the Steamboat Willie one.
Nope, Bambi the Reckoning.
Bambi?
Yeah, this one has a trailer.
Oh man. Okay, so what's happening in Bambi the Reckoning? Is it from the point of view of the hunter or something?
Bambi's all grown up and he's got super fucking sharp carnivore teeth and he's hunting down every human being as revenge for killing his mama.
Yeah, man. Okay.
It's fucking
fucking silly.
But here's the thing, is you can do a revenge plot with Bambi quite easily. This is not it, though, making him a fucking super mutant.
Yeah, you don't make Bambi into a super mutant. You have the way that you do a revenge plot with Bambi is that as the king of the king of the forest, or like the arbiter of nature that his like supposed father was, you just refuse to help this human being when there's a flood, and that's how Bambi does his revenge.
Fucking get over this shit. I'm done. I'm really fucking bothered. This is like by the way, this one is actually part of the Pooniverse.
The Pooniverse.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on ever so slightly, Rick, you actually sent me something since I learnt about this that wasn't on my radar at all, where there's another one. Please enlighten us.
It is a Steamboat Willie slasher, where Steamboat Willie himself is the slasher, as in the character that Mickey Mouse was playing during the Steamboat Willie cartoon, because Mickey Mouse is not public domain, but the Steamboat Willie cartoon itself is.
Pete is also not public domain, which is weird.
So yeah, only the character that Mickey Mouse was playing at the time is public domain. Therefore, the general shape of Mickey Mouse back in like the 1920s. This looks awful, as you would expect from something that is a blatant cash grab. But yes, it's called Screamboat.
It just makes no sense to me, any of this shit, because write something, change the character, and you've got something original that's yours. Alright, it's still a slasher, so automatically a bit shit, but...
And it's from the producers of Terrifier 2, Terrifier 3, and The Mean One, but not the Terrifier 1. And it's coming out on the 2nd of April, so it even misses the mark for being an April Fool's.
Here's the thing, Rick, as I keep hearing about these movies, I never see a theatric release on them.
Yeah, it's apparently for a limited time, and then it's essentially just going to be straight to Netflix or straight to Amazon or whatever.
Even Netflix scoffs at this shit.
Yeah.
Do you know how shit your thing's got to be for Netflix to go, no?
Yeah, I've seen Hoops.
I saw half of Hoops. I gave up watching it.
Yeah, I got through all of one episode and I was like, this main character is not likable in any way.
Which is kind of the point of the show, but it gets old fast.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you got an unlikable character like that, you want to see them get some comeuppance. Like, that's how you deal with a character like that. You just have them going through the ringer, and then their character development is they become a better person, and then some better things happen, and then they realize, oh, yeah, I can now leverage this to be an arsehole again, and then they get their shit slapped. And that's how the viewer gets catharsis for the person getting his shit slapped. This guy never gets any comeuppance.
I mean, to be fair, he's got a shitty life, but...
He does. But yeah, like, his ex-wife is banging his best friend, and his best friend is, like, okay with him trying to get back with the ex-wife because he knows the ex-wife is never gonna, like, go for it.
Yeah, it's a bad show. I was interested by the premise, and then it quickly became, this show's just not good. I should have been warned by the art style, because there's a certain art style in quote-unquote adult animation where you're like, this is going to be shit, but oh well.
Yeah, bad show.
In other news, Rick, the world's largest iceberg has just been drifting around for a while now.
Okay. It's no longer attached to Antarctica, I assume.
Oh, it hasn't been. It has never been attached to anything. Just occasionally it crashes into something, so it stays in place for a while.
Okay.
So that's happened again. It came to a sudden halt literally 2 days ago, and everyone who's been tracking it breathes a sigh of relief, as it means they no longer have to worry about it crashing into a wildlife sanctuary.
Yeah.
So just for context as to how big this iceberg is, the biggest iceberg since basically records began.
Yeah.
It's the size of Greater London.
Sweet. Yeah.
And it weighs a shit ton. And yeah, it just floats around the sea, Rick, until it hits something. I didn't know this. This was just a news story of crisis averted by doing nothing.
Yeah. I've tried yelling at it. I've tried hitting it, and nothing works.
It's so funny. It's just like, here's this massive iceberg. We don't know what to do with it. It might kill some penguins.
Yep.
It's one of those. It's very weird iceberg where I learnt about it and I was like, you'd think this would be a big fucking issue, wouldn't you? There's this massive iceberg that just drifts around the sea, and turns out it's not an issue because it's so fucking big. Cargo ships can easily avoid it.
It's so massive and slow that you can circumnavigate it quite easily. Yeah.
Have you ever heard an iceberg?
Is that the one that basically sounds like a creaking ship?
It's fucking terrifying, my dude. Oh.
Yeah. Then I've not heard an iceberg.
I'm agreeing with you. It's terrifying. It's kind of like a creaking ship, but it's just different enough to sound alien.
Yeah.
I'm not a big
it's like,
fan.
It's like squeezed ice. Like you can do that kind of thing with ice that you can like make in your house, and then just like imagine that, but like pitched down like 10 octaves.
Yeah,
and super loud. It's like to your core.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the recordings that we listened to were also quietened down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrifying. But yeah, that's the end of my news. So, Rick, what are we doing?
We are doing Pretty Please I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl by Kiana Carnsmith. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yeah, just to reiterate, it's the pilot animatic. Because I fully believe that this show is going to get picked up.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like even the animatic, like so far, it's looking good.
Yep. Another reason why I was drawn to this is like the thumbnail for this is the girl dressed up like a magical girl, and she just looks so done with life. And she's 10.
Yeah, yeah, like a 10-year-old, like looks like someone who would fit in quite easily in like Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Or Sailor Moon.
Like just does not want to be there. I think I know that voice.
Possibly.
The good old biff in the face with a thing that you're holding. New best friend unlocked.
Keanu Lee is so epic. Alex Lee on YouTube appears to be the voice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's school. You never want to be the first one to finish up work ever.
No. Like especially in like exams as well. It's so disconcerting when you finish an exam and you got like 40 minutes left.
Yep. This teacher is super real.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's not actually hard to finish your schoolwork quickly if you do it correctly, if you're actually smart.
Might also be multiple choice.
Yeah, true. Biblically accurate starfruit.
Yeah, that's a bathroom floor. You don't want to be down there.
No.
Oh, she's 50. I generally thought these kids were way younger.
I thought she was 10. Yeah.
I think that's just the height thing.
She's just short and puny plush.
Yeah, but so is the other one.
Yeah. It's a
oh, my phone's not on silent.
It's a Milky Way star.
Fuck's sake.
Okay, so Hoshi is mostly incorporeal, but still has an effect on other people when he passes through them.
Yeah. I love that look for glasses of the lines to signify if it's reflective.
Yeah. Oh, she has eyes.
Well, yes, Rick.
Like, yes, she has eyes, but quite a lot of the time when someone is shown as reflective glasses eyes, you just never see their eyes.
I imagine we'll see their eyes a lot more in the actual animation. Again, this is an animatic and they need to save a bit of time. Jesus. That is not true. The best kind of friend.
Oh, oh.
Oh, she eats like Goku. Cool.
Yep. Yep.
I love scoffing shit down
Literal
like
Sailor Moon.
Yeah. I love scoffing
Moon
shit
Sailor.
down like an animal and then being like, that tastes awful.
Yeah. Yeah, the genre. Yeah. It's entirely unrealistic. I got a thing called a fire drill. They use it to drill flaming holes in you.
Curds, jeez.
There's Gestus.
Someone's trying too hard.
It's great. I love when someone like calls someone a worm in a kid's cartoon because like it's a way of like putting someone down without swearing at them.
Yeah.
Like even Ketherick Thorm calls you a worm.
Yeah, but it's like less than dirt, innit?
Yeah. The worm's inside the dirt.
That transition was smooth as all fuck.
It was, yeah. This is the point where Zira's gonna like fall in love right now.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I know they're trying to like buck tropes and stuff, but Star Guardian, Guardian of the Stars is tickling a special spot in my brain. Oh.
No time.
You got locked in a box. I don't think you're a friend.
Miraculous.
It's like, yeah, she's sick of this shit. Fine, whatever. Let's just get this done. Fucking
Pipe.
lead pipe. Holy shit.
Yeah, she's gonna straight to the shins.
You ain't getting up from
Or the
that.
crotch.
Jeez. Dude, I would love to have that ability.
Well, like to just disappear up your own arse and just like teleport
No,
away.
not up my own arse, Rick. To teleport away. That's the only bit I cared about.
Yeah, just wrap yourself up in whatever cape you have.
I'm still remembering the joke from fucking Devil Artemis, where they were taking the piss out of Naruto being in Fortnite, and it's just like, time for Kappa bitch no Jitsu.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. We do get a magical girl transformation, just the wrong way round.
Yeah, because this is what she actually wants to transform into, a normal girl.
Yeah. Is she? That's the question.
Hmm.
They're zooming in on this thing, so I assume it's like a spy device. Oh, we're going to see the big boss. Oh, he's a simp. Great.
Yeah. Tall, evil, and sexy. I blasted through a wall. Posed like an edgelord.
Yeah, just a hint of that evil. The sexy, sexy evil.
Yeah, and I think this ending credit is pretty much about as perfect as it's going to be for the tone of this thing.
Yeah. You can look out the voice actor here now.
Yeah, Bennett Ibarra. She's Sully in Fire Emblem.
Oh, okay.
And Flutterina in She-Ra.
Barely counts, but I get you.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. Biggest one that she's been is Boruto in Boruto.
I mean, I admit that's big, but means very little to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the character because, you know, it's the Naruto spiritual successor, but I didn't even watch Naruto, so...
Yeah, totally. And also Sailor Jupiter in actual Sailor Moon.
Sailor Jupiter, was that the butch one or was that Mercury?
Is she the gay one? I ask a friend of ours about this all the time because she knows Sailor Moon way better than I do. And when she talks about whatever Sailor Scout, she goes, I go, is that the gay one? And she goes, no, that's blah, blah, blah.
I think Mercury might be the gay one.
Yeah, she has tomboyishness, apparently.
Tomboyishness.
And she reorganizes her home, but with a sledgehammer.
Sure, I don't know why I asked. It's been forever since I watched Sailor Moon. I didn't even like it back then. My main exposure to Sailor Moon was the fact that for some unknown reason, during the mid-2000s, there was a lot of pornography on the internet that was just Dragon Ball meets Sailor Moon. Don't know the why.
Yeah. Oh, because those were the first two anime that made it onto Cartoon Network and were, like, not forgotten immediately.
I also used to get Sailor Moon confused with Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah, because it's a person in a sailor uniform, because that's what school uniforms are, with a wand. And Sailor Moon was, like, from the 80s and Cardcaptors was from, like, the late 90s.
Yeah, so Cardcaptor was the one I actually watched because it was on, you know. But hey-ho. Sailor Moon did important things for that genre. They invented that genre, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. As far as I know, it basically is the genre.
Yeah. Creator of Sailor Moon ended up with the creator of Hunter x Hunter, I believe.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. The only reason I love that fact is because the creator of Sailor Moon is this goddess of a woman, and then the creator of Hunter x Hunter is this gremlin of a man that lives in a trash cave. And I mean that with all due respect.
Dude, like, the funniest thing is I can see the actual dynamic being that she's the one that really, really loves him, and that, like, oh, isn't he a catch? You know, the Jessica Rabbit style.
The only reason I know about the Hunter x Hunter guy being a disgusting human being, and again, I mean that with all due respect, I believe he got over that phase of his life, is... There's an arc in Hunter x Hunter that I'm told where everything just gets attacked by giant ants, and someone told me that, so it's pretty clear that the only reason that became a plot point is because the guy was living in his disgusting house filled with trash, and all of a sudden it got infested with ants.
Yeah, and it was like personally traumatizing, and real life writes the plot.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, this little 10-minute pilot, very fun, very interesting. I loved the design on the logo. Very, very on brand for magical girl bullshit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man.
Oh.
Dude, I loved this show so far.
It was very fun. It's a great proof of concept.
Yeah. And, like, more than just a proof of concept, it's essentially an episode that, as it says, it's an animatic that rather than an animation, but like all the rest of the pieces are there. Like with like another year in the oven, you could have had this entire thing be the episode as it would be shown.
Yeah, I could see this going on for twice as long, twice the runtime, because like there's clearly elements of this episode that have been cut out for the sake of having it be concise and showing off what the actual premise is. Like I imagine there would be more time in the classroom at the beginning, and obviously we end the episode on the school bell for next class, and that would probably get shown to create a bit of a pause between the villain fleeing and that stinger of an end shot.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, what did you think overall? I mean, it's quite clear we're both rather high on this.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I'm going to be looking like really forward to seeing more of. First of all, click subscribe. Like quite a lot of the time, like it makes me like click on things like this, and this is one I'm immediately subscribing on to this channel. So yes, I'm gonna keep my finger on the pulse of this now from going forward. I hope someone good picks it up. That allows them to keep the style consistent with what we've been shown here, because this style just really works for this tone of show, you know.
Totally get you.
Like especially when you've got like a minor mixture of styles between everything that's going on and things like Hoshi, who's very obviously just a mascot trying to fit in.
Not sure I follow what your point is on that one.
Well, it's just that he's obviously not a human. But also he's not drawn in the same style to a degree.
Is he not? He looks the same style to me. It's just he's a weird little star creature.
Yeah, but like he's you know how the Sun Prince from Earth Guy has the dot eyes?
But that's not a different style. That's just different eyes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Again, your point kind of falls apart because it's a weird alien creature. So it's not a different style. It just doesn't look human.
Sure. But yes, I really like it. I want to see more. I want to hear more. I want to breathe more. How about you?
Had to make it weird with that last one, didn't you? But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was 11 minutes well spent. Let's say 10 minutes realistically, because about half a minute was credits easy. I'm totally fine with people posting animatics as their proof of concept pilot.
Yeah, because like this shows well enough that you can organize a project like this, because setting your stuff to setting lines to times is a skill that not everybody has when they're doing their very first like full length animation.
No, possibly. The thing is every single indie pilot I've seen has always been incredibly well polished.
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like the standard is too high nowadays, or rather, people's expectations are too high for a pilot. They want a perfect, basically a full episode as a pilot, and it's like, it's not a realistic expectation for indie animation. Especially, like, did you see the amount of people who worked on this?
Yeah, there's
very little.
There's a fair few, but not not a lot.
10 people at most, and half of those were VAs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't class that as a big team at all.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I think they already had the benefit of me enjoying this art style because I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
Shit, you're even familiar with it. I sent you all those Jesse and Delia comics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I adored the teacher design. They did a real good job of making her looking old. Not old, but like burnt out.
Yeah. While also, you know, she got that little flash of cuteness when she was like, oh, I needed that today.
Followed immediately by, holy shit, that's a perfect score in like 10 minutes. What the fuck?
Yep.
And you know what? There wasn't there wasn't any vulgarity in this show, except for the one random teenager saying "fuck this" at one point, and it's like, yeah, that happens in a high school.
Yeah, I mean, you could very easily just replace that with a beep if you want to make it a lower rating show.
Doesn't a 12 get one F-bomb?
Yeah, but that's in like a 2-hour movie, so it'd probably be like once per season for something like this.
I don't think it's a big deal. I'm just saying, like, there was a swear in this. However, the swearing was way less than we have in a common 10-minute discussion between the pair of us.
Yeah, kids know the fuck word. It's fine.
They certainly and they're not kids either. They're 15. I mean, they are kids, but they're not kids, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. One of our pet kids once asked, "Why don't we swear?" Because their parents swear a lot more than we do.
Why don't we swear? It's a really annoying thing that we drill into kids. You can't swear. It's bad. It's naughty. Blah 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 blah. And then everyone else just swears around them anyway because no one actually gives a fuck. Like
exactly.
There's nothing wrong with swearing. There really isn't. There are words that I would rather not say that aren't swear words because they are crimes.
Oh, yes. Like, it's one of those, like, one of my most memorable lessons growing up was from a very dapper English teacher who says, the number one thing to learn about swearing is to swear well. If all you say are fuck, fucker, fucking, and fuckingly, then it's not going to have any impact when you say it.
Oh, are you done? Because you usually have a second sentence.
No, that was pretty much it. So, yeah, you if you save your F-bombs for when you really need it, it has more impact.
Okay, you've told that story like a dozen times on this podcast, and the follow-up is usually how he calls a certain student a shit, and see how it makes much more impact because I don't swear normally.
Yeah. Usually it's Lenny.
Yeah.
Lenny was a little bastard.
But yeah, it's one of those where, no one cares. I think it's just an excuse for, I don't think parents do it nowadays, but I know certainly in my case, if I ever swore when I was a kid, I'd get a slap. So I think it was just an excuse to beat your kids up. Anyway, let's get to our usual wind down, shall we? Do you have a standout favourite moment?
Okay, so the one that made me go aw was, oh man, a real loser, that's so awesome. Like, almost any moment in this would be, like, top 5 favourite moments from almost any other show. And, like, yeah. Actually, no. It's when, it's gonna be when Ica... It's when Xena stands in front of Ica to try and save her from Eclipse, and then Ica's like, nah, I'm saving you from this. Okay,
fair enough. I will say, when you take 2 moments out of a 10-minute thing, really limits the pool for what I've got to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with, I'm sacrificing myself for you. No, I'm sacrificing myself for you. I'm done with this. You're my first friend. I'm not losing you to this fuck. Yeah, I'm taking that one. How about you? What's going to be your favourite moment for today?
Yeah, you know what my wish is, and Q2 lead pipe.
Yes.
Yeah. Who needs magical moonbeams when you can fucking break a motherfucker's kneecaps?
Yep.
I'm reminded ever so slightly of a scene from Firefly where everyone's gearing up to basically assault a castle in order to save Malcolm, and everyone's got their guns, and then the shepherd, the religious guy, is like, I want to help as well. Sorry, I don't think sermons are gonna cut it. Cut to the guy picking up a shotgun, cocking it, and going and being like, no, I'll help. I'll shoot some motherfuckers. And it's like, isn't there a religious rule saying you can't kill anyone? It's like, yes, but it's a lot less clear about kneecaps.
Yep.
But yes.
Yeah.
I do love how in the corner of my eye, occasionally I'm discussing something, and then I'm getting a thing sent to me from Rick, who I'm talking to.
Yeah. Well, I'm also I'm seeing some really cool animations that we're brainstorming for turning this into an animation month.
Yeah, sure. Do it when we're not actively on the podcast. A bit of professionalism, please. Weakest link, go.
Weakest link. Well, it's not even a real weakest link in the fact that it was an animatic and not an animation. And yeah, that's basically no weakest link because the scope of the episode was the only downside, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get it. I think
yes, I would have liked to have seen like the whole thing with this amount of polish, the amount of polish that you see in the one little color scene and also in the end credits extended to the entire episode would have been like 90% cooler, but not that much more charming, because like most of the charm comes from a combination of, the style, the writing, and the performances. Like the performances are a big deal here.
What is it about American high schools that demands the walls be yellow?
I don't know.
Because every cartoon since the history of fucking forever set in American high schools has always had yellow walls, and I've always wondered why. Is it just a colour theory thing, or...?
I think it's like they're grey and they're just like showing off that this thing is really fucking old by having yellowed in the sun.
I don't think that's it at all, Rick. I don't know what it is, but that sounds like a fucking stretch.
Yeah.
Because it's inside as well, Rick. It's not just the outside.
Yeah. Like, because I'm clicking forward to when it's coloured and they're not that yellow. It's basically just grey stuff.
Well, maybe my brain's auto-completed it to yellow because I'm thinking of Wreckers.
Yeah. I remember that gag in Recess. We're implementing the Wreckers program. But yes, do you have a weakest link at all?
I really think this suffered ever so slightly from either a lack of a soundtrack or a lackluster one. It's an animatic, it doesn't need one, but if there was music playing at any point, I didn't really notice it, which might be to its benefit, I don't know, but it sounded oddly quiet.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, because there was some during the magical girl transformation back into a normal girl.
Yeah, I remember that bit. But, it's when it's something you don't notice unless it's not there.
Yeah, I get you.
And again, it wasn't really an issue. It's just with these weakest links, sometimes our weakest links themselves are quite weak because there's not a lot to complain about here. It's a solid proof of concept. It was charming throughout. The gags landed. It's very clearly a parody, and you know exactly what it's parodying because we've all seen at least one magical girl show in our lives.
Yeah. And usually they are very enthusiastic about the thing that they're doing. And even when they're not, they still do the thing to the best of their ability, like Miraculous.
I mean, I watched a whole season of Prisma Ilia, which don't watch that show. It's fucking bad. It's a Fate thing. I had a friend who said, "Oh yeah, Prisma Ilia is really good," and I was like incredibly uncomfortable watching it because there was more scenes than zero of little girls kissing each other, and not in a playful child way. In a this feels like I'm committing a crime way.
I get you. Yeah.
And I was just like, whatever. And even in that, Ilya, the main character, is like, I'm not sure about this fucking outfit shit. So it's not exactly a unique concept deconstructing the magical girl genre, but it's fun. It's a fun take on it.
Yeah.
Like the most unique aspect by far is that I'm just going to beat people up with a lead pipe. I love that as an idea.
Yes, absolutely. It reminds me of that one comic of love, understanding, incredible violence.
Well, it's the fucking Kamen Rider meme as well. I'm going to beat you with the power of friendship and this gun I found.
Yeah, and this 2x4.
But yeah, let's wrap things up on a nice highlight, shall we, Rick? Do you have a standout MVP today?
Voices in general, but in particular, I'm going to give it to Ana Iris Quiñones. She's been a Best VA Performance nominee for a reason, and she just breathed a lot of life into Aika here, and just made the entire episode just like a joy to listen to.
Oh yeah, the VAs were all outstanding. I think the villains might have been the weakest, but part of that's because they were in for the episode for such a small amount of time, I think.
Like not even like Eclipse was very good at being like a proper fucking edgelord.
My point being, they didn't show much range because they didn't have the ability to show much range. Eclipse was in it for 3 minutes or less, and the final villain wasn't even a minute.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, dude was like he was like Mash Burndead, and he was the narrator in the My Little Pony Maritime Bay Adventure.
Okay. I'm not slagging off their performance. I'm just saying they didn't have a chance to shine.
Sure. Yeah, I get you. But yes, that's my MVP. Who's going to be your MVP for today?
I think it would be incredibly rotten of us to not give a nod to Kiana.
Yeah. 100%.
This is
100%
clearly their baby. They ran a lot of the direction of it, and rightly so. If it's your creation, you should be directing in theory. And they did a good job. This was like nothing's flawless. I'm sure if we went through this with a fine-tooth comb, we could pick it apart. But I don't really want to. It was good.
Yeah. It's one of those all things of, if you can find anything wrong with it, also take a step back. If I had made this, would I be proud of it? Abso-fucking-lutely.
It's good. Yes, we review things, and sometimes our criticisms are overly harsh. I still feel a bit bad for what I said about Ramshackle, but I don't think it was invalid.
Yeah, well, we were also comparing it to Earth Guy that we'd seen like earlier that day that we know that we loved.
Well, the problem,
and then Ramshackle had got like way more views.
Again, we didn't even slag off Ramshackle. You didn't. You sung nothing but its praises. I didn't slag it off. I thought it was a very good cartoon. I just don't think it was very good as a pilot, because where do you go from here?
Yeah, like you're going to have to deconstruct that pilot and just stretch it out into a season.
Pretty much. Like, that's what it would have to be. But we already know what the stinger's going to be if you've seen the pilot.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's a great pilot. Like, you know what's going to happen. We've established our bad guy. The bad guy probably has a stable of plenty of other bad guys, apart from Eclipse. Eclipse, we know, is incompetent. He's got a ranged weapon and got beaten by a lead pipe. you're shit.
Yeah. He can blow through a wall, and he still didn't attack a teenage girl.
Anyway, I'm eager to see this. Granted, I don't think there's going to be many surprises in this show, if it does get a show. I'm really hoping it does, and honestly, it looks nearly 3 million views in less than 2 weeks, Rick. It seems positive to me.
Yes. We're very definitely hoping for good things. Ideally, hoping for, like, relatively quick things, because, having it sooner rather than later is fantastic, but, we know there was a long time between the the Has Been Hotel pilot and the Has Been Hotel series, and them giving it time to cook was actually a good thing.
I mean, a good percentage of that is, we have to find a different voice cast that's all union, and also we're Amazon, so here's a bunch of shit you can't do, and here's the shit you can do, and we need to change this, and this, because fuck you.
Well, true enough.
But yeah, I've got high hopes for Pretty Please, I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl. I'm looking forward to getting future updates on this. I'm confident that this is gonna maybe not be the most popular thing in the world, but it's got to get at least a series.
Yeah. And, we know it's not going to be Cartoon Network because they appear to be folding.
All right, on that bombshell. That does it for us today. Join us again next week where we'll be doing something completely different. Let us know what your thoughts are on the show we watched today. How are we wrong? How are we right? What do you want to see from this in the future? And hey, keep us in the loop of any other indie animation projects you're aware of, because hey, we actually enjoy watching these things. They're a bit more fun than well-established media.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell us a little tidbits that we missed as well.
Oh, absolutely. Like, we weren't really watching this with laser accuracy because, we've got to 1, watch the thing, 2, pay attention to what characters are saying, and 3, talk to each other. It's the nature of the podcast, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So yeah, just let us know. We've got the comment section down below on YouTube and Spotify. Yet to break our Spotify comment virginity, Rick.
Yes. We will read them out if they are funny enough, insightful enough, or just generally good.
Alternatively, you can send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
And yeah, we'll see you again next week, guys. Toodles.
Bye, everybody.